So, Trump versus Obama as president, specifically as commander-in-chief. I'm going to do my best to compare and contrast their performance as commander-in-chiefs. We could even go back as far as W. I think W may have been, in the circumstances, the most capable, and there was a reason why I was glad that he was elected versus Al Gore, who went against him, and the reason why. So, which of all of these people are natural-born killers? Or are they killers, or were they taught how to kill? Where were they taught? We'll start with W, I think, and why he was better than Al Gore. Part of the Skull and Bones fraternity. His dad was a killer. I'm not sure about his grandfather. So definitely had born into him a killer instinct. And compared to Al Gore, I don't know Al Gore's background, but he seems to have a big heart. And my thought is, Democrats seem to have the heart, and Republicans seem to have the brain. That's why it's always scary when a Democrat sends us to war, because they're fighting from the heart. And anytime we've fought from the heart instead of the brain, it's been a mess. It's been an absolute disaster. Even going back to ancient times, the Trojan horse comes to mind as an example. Going to war over Helen of Troy. Are you kidding me? It's so bad, because when you're being made to fight from the heart, it's only one person's heart. That's scary. When you're fighting from the brain, and it's logical, then it's people's intellect, and we're working together, and we're making sure that it's the right choice. So, yeah, never fight from the heart. Never fight from a position of passion when it comes to killing. My opinion. Make of that what you will. But W, yeah, he's a killer. Oh man, was he ever a killer? And he kind of got let loose. Really, really, really disappointed me personally. And made me realize that a person who is not patriotic can actually get to the highest levels of service. Or maybe I'm delusional. But to openly invade over weapons of mass destruction, that was pretty wild. Okay, so W, I think we can all agree he was a killer. Did what he had to do. Probably responsible, depending on how you want to assign the responsibility. He is responsible for probably destroying a generation's worth of Iraqi civilians, or people, however you want to put it. Kill count at least 500,000, I bet. Next up, Obama. Killer or not? Yes, absolutely a killer. Why? I don't know. His father from Kenya. His mother, American. I think there is probably a natural fight in the Kenyan lineage. So potentially Obama, another natural-born killer, just like W. He, according to reports, was willing to launch drone strikes during weddings. He would keep collateral damage to a minimum, I think. Very smart guy. He was commander-in-chief when Obama, I get it confused, when Osama bin Laden. Look at how those things are linked in my mind. So Obama was commander-in-chief when we finally managed to kill Osama bin Laden, and he was willing to go into a foreign country to do it. And the measure of how far he was willing to support that, so he sends in an SMU to do the job and support logistics around it. Alleged reports, he was ready to actually bring in a mechanized force to support the SMU that went in, because they went in differently than what they usually do. The movie Black Hawk Down demonstrates it, where a Ranger unit, Tier 1, they set up a grid, like a blocking off grid, and then an SMU goes into the middle to complete the objective. So they went into that. The SMU went in without Ranger support. So they did that, I think, to keep a really light footprint, but yet the support was there, allegedly. Pretty weird, because this is the same person that was commander-in-chief during the attack on Benghazi. And this is where I personally may have a problem with Secretary Clinton and how they're willing to hang assets out to dry. I think Libya was a bit of a disaster and wasn't what they expected. When they wanted to depose Gaddafi for whatever reason, whether it was banking or oil, probably a combination of both, and everything was... The Arab Spring was around that time, so potentially maybe we were looking to disrupt the Arab Spring. I don't know. I wish Landshark 22 was still on here, or even Hibernia's son. Golly, I wish Hibernia's son were here. Man, now I feel bad. Kind of miss him. So it's confusing, because, and maybe it was because Obama was too much of a Democrat. When people opposed us going into Libya, it really changed the tactic there. Gaddafi ended up being killed anyway by rioters in the street. And to that, Secretary Clinton famously said, "We came, we saw, now he's dead," and she laughed like a maniac, which makes me believe that she's not a killer, didn't know how to react. And that's a strange thing to see in a person. Literally an example of a lions being led by lambs. Have you ever heard that adage? Yeah, it's really a thing. Finally, as promised, Trump as commander-in-chief. Let's think about this. Natural born killer? I don't know. Maybe somewhere deep in his lineage. More of a merchant. Similar to probably what we would have gotten with Ross Perot. I don't think a natural warrior, from a true standpoint, from like a metaphysical standpoint, yeah, most definitely. He's a scrapper, type of person that would maybe be in like a bar brawl, but not, we're not talking Hatfields and McCoys where the bar brawl is going to turn lethal necessarily. And again, that's a beautiful thing. And maybe you want that person to be president. Unfortunately, that brings us to the fault. If you go back to what I said about Democrats having the heart, I believe that's Trump. I believe he's like a combination of the heart and the intellect. It's it's funny that he criticizes Republicans as being rhinos, which is the stands for Republican in name only. People accuse like Mitt Romney of doing that and everything else. To that, I say Trump may be projecting a little bit because, in my opinion, he's a rhino. But, in my opinion, not a natural killer, which is cool. Bad news is, maybe good news. He's old school about it. If you're going to fight, bring everything you got. And the problem with us bringing everything we've got, it's like what Einstein said. I can't tell you what weapons that we'll be using for World War III, but in World War IV, it'll be fought with sticks and stones. What say you? Comments in the description below. Hibernia-san, if you've found this channel, wouldn't mind having you back. See you on the next video.